All right, do not be one of these guys that just puts the wood up there. When you got a difficult cut like this, get yourself a jig or a scribe. This is a pretty unique tool. You can make the exact impression of what you're trying to cut out. You're just going to trace it onto your board, and then you're going to need to cut the wood out. Now I'm going to use a jigsaw. As you'll see, I'm doing it upside down. It gives you a little bit better visibility. It does take some practice, so don't just go right at it doing this sort of thing, otherwise you might cut a finger off. Heck, I could have even cut a finger off. But I'm just going to kind of whittle away at all my lines, and then I'm going to end up with this. And I'm just going to shove it in there. Now obviously it doesn't have to be perfect. What you're going to do is stop people from looking. Now this is a video not just about digging holes, but a good tip if you are digging holes. So stay tuned here as I start to dig this hole. I'm going to go in and out of it a couple times, get as much material as possible. Now you'll see the cone developing around the outside perimeter. That's a pain to work around, so here's what we do. We actually put all the material back in the hole and use the auger to move it. Instead of having it around the hole and making a mess, it allows you to have a nice clean hole once you're done, and nobody likes a dirty hole, am I right? Check out this tool that you've probably never heard of. It's the Melco HC1, and it's used to cut perfect circles in metal and other thin, light gauge materials. One thing I've learned over the years doing spray foam around my windows is that it's very easy to overfill the cavity because it's kind of fun to do. However, you got to remember that this product will expand over time, so you don't have to fill it too much. Let it do its thing, expand out. You can always add more later if you want, but it's kind of a pain to remove after the fact. Also, make sure you're using the right type of foam. This is specific to windows and doors. It won't overexpand and bow or flex your frames. So I was at my parents' house with my mini excavator, and I was helping them demo this old barn. It was dilapidated, needed to come down, but there was some really cool stuff we saved. One of the things being this old pulley that was up at the top. So once I dropped the roof, we cut it off with the Sawzall so my dad could save it for a decoration somewhere.
Diablo is a carbide amped, and just had no problem cutting through this old metal.
Every once in a while when you're doing a job, things just happen to work out. These were some railing posts that were setting. We had to cut holes in the floor and then notch out the columns so that it would go around the floor joist and the double LVL header that goes across the face of this floor system, and they just went in perfectly, snapped in like a glove.